Hey everyone, this is Ellie Mae with Silhouette Secrets Plus, and this is the quick start video for the unboxing and setup for the new Silhouette Cameo 5 Alpha machine. I do have a very in-depth video. If you want to watch that, it is in the video description below of this one. But I know there are some out there who want just that quick video and be done in just a few minutes. So I'm going to condense that one, the original video, make it a lot shorter, and I'm going to cut out a lot of the tips and troubleshooting and different things in it. So let's go ahead and get started unboxing this, and I'll show you the bare minimum for you to get set up with your Silhouette Cameo 5 and running with that. If you want that in-depth video, make sure to check out the description below where I go into everything, all the new features in depth, as well as give a live demonstration of the new increased sketch speed as well. Here's a time lapse of opening the box and taking everything out that is included with the Silhouette Cameo 5 Alpha machine. Make sure to keep your box at least for 1 year. If you are in the US, that is the warranty period. There are QR codes on the box that provide more information, as well as the setup, SilhouetteAmerica.com/setup for the machine that is going to also register for your warranty. The warranty starts the day you purchase the machine. So you're going to want to unbox everything. It does come with a power cord, which has 2 parts. Comes with a Type B auto blade and a Silhouette tool that is used to take the cap off the blade and also remove the Bluetooth in the machine. The blue sketch pen adapter is now back with the machine, and a 12x12 cutting mat. And then you have your Silhouette Cameo 5 Alpha machine. Here is a list of those items. There is no USB cord and there is no roll feeder in the machine. One of the new features on this Cameo 5 Alpha is the updated roller system. This is great, and so far I really like this. You have a push button on the top that you're going to push down to slide that across for the lock and unlock. There is a textured surface on the roller bar in certain sections along that bottom roller bar that where the right roller can be locked. But now you can see both of those white rollers easily. It is very nice and very easy. When you first open the box, you will need to move the right roller to the correct location for cutting with or without a mat, depending on what materials you are using. So I'm tipping the machine up just a little bit so you can see there's textured area on that bottom roller bar. With a cutting mat, you're going to move the right roller all the way to the right, and you want your rollers to be rolling across the edge of the cutting mat on the left and the right side, not on the adhesive of the cutting mat, or it's going to pick up debris and dirt and cause you future cut issues. In order for the Silhouette Cameo 5 Alpha machine to be recognized by the Silhouette Studio software, you do need to use version 5.0.402 or higher. So I'm going to show you quickly how you can access that on the website or the current version at the time. It will depend on when you are watching this video on what the version that I am recommending at the time is, but for right now you have to use 5.0.402 in order for a Cameo 5 Alpha machine to be recognized. You're going to navigate to software, and the website may change. It has changed several times over the last year, but these steps should still be able to get you to the correct location even if the look changes. So you're going to go to software, you're going to select Silhouette Studio, click on that, and then you're going to see the current version. So this is the current version as of today's date and what you have to use. Now you'll be able to use anything after this that will recognize a Cameo 5 Alpha machine. You can also find legacy versions over here under legacy version, and I'll show you that here in a second. In order to download the version from this window, you need to move your mouse over the button of either Mac if you have an Apple computer or Windows if you have a Microsoft computer. Then you're going to click on that. It's going to download to your computer and you need to install that. If you want to If you're down the road and the current version is not what I'm recommending, I typically do not recommend the current version right after it's released because I don't know what it's going to do for users or how it's going to affect that. So we usually wait and we watch that. If you have questions on what the current version that we're recommending at this moment is, make sure to leave a comment below and I will let you know that. It just will depend on the time. There's going to be new updates and new fixes released as we go along from this date of when I'm recording it. If you click on legacy versions, you will not be able to use any older version than 5.0.402 to recognize a Silhouette Cameo 5 Alpha machine. But down the road, if there are legacy versions that recognize it as it's released, this is where you will find those legacy versions, and you do have your Mac and your Windows buttons here to download as well. The other feature here is the release notes. If you click on this, it's going to tell you the things that are in that version of the software. So here, August 26, 2025 was when 5.0.402 was released. It was released on the back end, and then we saw it as Silhouette Summit came out. So you can see that here is where the first version that the Cameo 5 Alpha and the Cameo 5 Alpha Plus are supported. So any previous versions prior to that will not recognize those machines. Now, once you have installed the software on your computer, this is what version 5 looks like. Here is the new splash screen with Silhouette information. This is web-based. It pulls it from the Silhouette servers. You cannot bypass this. You can simply click on the design tab in the top right. You also have starter mode on and starter mode off. I have toggled that here so you can see that. Starter mode on is for beginners and is designed so that beginners can walk through the software a little bit easier, and it's step by step. You will want to click on the page setup panel in the top right corner. This is where you're going to tell it that you are using a Cameo 5 Alpha next to the machine type. And then you can set up your feed type is going to be manual here. We're not using the auto sheet feeder. Cutting mat is a 12 by 12 cutting mat, and then set up your media size, which is your material size that you are going to be working with. Letter size, 12 by 12 size, whatever you're going to be using. I'm going to show here quickly the new 4-point registration marks. When I enable these registration marks, this is an available feature for the Cameo 5 Alpha, Cameo 5 Alpha Plus, and the Cameo Pro Mark II only currently as I record the video. Once you're ready to go, you're going to click on the Send tab with your machine turned on. It's going to then recognize it under that little drop down with the machines there. When you click on it, it's going to start checking for a firmware update. Firmware updates are tied to software versions specifically, and you cannot proceed without updating the firmware and cut with your machine. So you're going to click on Update Now. Do not switch off the Cameo while you are updating the firmware. Once the firmware update has completed with the Cameo 5 Alpha, the machine will turn off and then it will turn back on. It took about a minute or so, a minute 30, to complete the firmware update for my Cameo 5 Alpha. Then it's going to, this is where it turned itself off. It's going to try to reconnect. Now it is ready to go. Once you have the firmware update complete, you are ready to go to send a project to your machine. I have set up a sketch design here. You can see that full demonstration in the in-depth unboxing and setup video where I share tips and troubleshooting. That is linked below. I'm changing this to Tool 2 to test out the increased speed of sketching with the Tool 2 housing. It used to be super slow. Now they say it is increased the speed, so you can change that to a 30, and it did in fact increase the speed. It turned out great. And just keep in mind that sketching or cutting at high speeds is not always recommended. But Tool 2 was super slow, so this is an improvement in what it was before. If you have any questions, let me know. Have fun with your new machine, and thanks for watching. Have a great day.